Today we're going to talk about all of me, work a bit on the chord analysis of the tune, and this is a really important thing that I've been featuring on the channel in general for quite a long time. I think probably from the beginning. So it's really important to understand the functionality of the chords, and what they're doing, how they're relating to each other, and what the tonic is, and how all of that kind of fits together. So really want to have an understanding of what key we're in, and how these chords are working out. Really very important. So let's start with the key that we're in here. We're working with key of C. So no sharps and no flats. But we have, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Of course, we can pull from notes from other key areas and other types of scales aside from the major scale. So this is our starting point, right? So C major, and we'll begin here with the one chord, which is C. In this case, I'm playing a C6/9. So it's our one chord. It's really important to understand this numbering system. So one chord, key of C. And then we have an E7. Now, this doesn't occur in the key without making some changes. So it's important to think about, does your root note land in the key center, and does the chord quality include tones that are in the key center? So in this case, we have E. So that is a tone in the key of C, but we have a chord quality that is not actually included here in that. So we have a G sharp. It's in the melody as well, right? So to explain what is going on there, we could think about secondary dominance, and so this is going to serve as a 5 of a 6 chord, right? And so we can pull from the harmonic minor of the relative minor for that particular spot, and that's called Phrygian dominant when it relates to this E7, right? So then we end up with this kind of cascading 5 of something kind of functions, right? So we have 5 of the 6, but then the 6 becomes a 5 of the 2. Okay, and that's perfectly okay, right? So we have 5 of the 2. So, and I did talk about chord scales in this in our series of podcasts, but just to kind of explain that once again, we have a 5 of the 2, so we can borrow from the key of D minor here for a moment on this 5 chord. So if you're looking at the circle of fifths, which you can find on Wikipedia or really kind of anywhere on the internet with a Google search, you're going to see that the key of 1 flat is a closely related key. So we can borrow from that key for the secondary dominant of A7. So that would be the 5 of 1 in D minor. We get to D minor, but then we're thinking about the 2 chord here. And we head back up to the E7, right? And here we're, again, secondary dominant 5 of the 6 chord, and we actually do go to the 6th chord, which is minor, right? A minor. So that's a relative minor in the key, right? And we end up on D7. I'm playing D13 right there. So what's involved with that, and how does that differ from D minor, which is naturally occurring in the key that we're in? Well, we have an F sharp, right? So again, borrowing from closely related key here, we have the key of 1 sharp or key of G major. This would be the 5 of the 1 in the key of G, right? So again, circle of fifths, check that out, and you'll see that we're on the opposite side of C, borrowing from the key of 1 sharp. Okay, and then kind of lets us release out into the D minor, the 2, and the 5, right? To go ahead and start the second half of the tune, which begins really just like the first half. So we have the 1 chord, the 3 again, or the 5 of the 6. And then we have the 6, which is going to be the 5 of the 2. So I'll mention here, if you're playing on iReal Pro or a similar type of backing track sort of thing, then you're going to see the 3, right, for this E7. And we'll give you a 3 because everything is going to relate to the key that we're in, the tonic. So it's not probably going to put those secondary type functions, but that helps us to understand what's going on and helps us to be a little more informed when we go to create our lines. Okay, so moving on, the A7, again, the 5 of the 2 chord, and D minor, we're borrowing from the key of 1 flat there. Okay, D minor, we're really back in C at this point, and we're considering this as 2 chord. Okay, we'll go to the 4. And this is a really common progression here. 4 to the 4 minor. Okay, so that is a really common kind of progression to go to the 4 and then the 4 minor. We get 3, 6, which in and of themselves kind of form a little bit of a 2-5. And then we have 2 and then a 5 to the 1. So I discussed a little bit more of the details on the scales in an earlier podcast. So here we're mainly focusing on the chords for us for now. So and then we can have a variety of turnarounds, and if you're playing in a group, you can embed other chords in there or make substitutions kind of happen or do some side stepping and things like that. And that's somewhat going to depend on how much instrumentation is there in your ensemble. If you are playing with a pianist, you haven't played with them much before, then you may consider playing, at least fairly simple to start out, is see how you kind of feel each other out as far as what you like to do. But if you're playing with a bass player, you can really kind of stretch out and try some things. Or if you have more rapport with someone or more time spent with someone playing, you can start to hear each other out and follow each other. And who knows, that might happen very much from the beginning and very spontaneously as well. So I would really strongly encourage you to play these chord changes in at least a few keys and quite possibly all keys. And then you'll really be kind of forced into the um, relative and functional sort of nature of the chords as opposed to playing in one key where sometimes you might just default to playing on a certain location on your instrument, right? So just, oh, a C, okay, so I go there, for example. So kind of force one out of their comfort zone a little bit and play in a variety of keys. All right, everybody. Well, I will mention here that this uh, podcast is available as a video version to the lessons and talks tier on the YouTube channel. So check that out as well. I have some things in the works for creating some online meetings for workshops and question and answer type things. So keep an eye on some of the descriptions and some of the content that comes out. So I will likely be creating some links for all that. But I did make a little bit of progress with that today. So hoping to grow a community of folks talking about improvisation and guitar playing and things like that, and help folks along with their playing. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great practice session.